I'm Allison Elia. I currently work for After School All-Stars. I'm the Director of Operations here in Columbus, Ohio. We do after-school programs for kids in inner-city schools, and basically our mission is to keep students safe and help them succeed in their school and in their life. I came in on the programming side, so helping to really lay out what does programming look like, how do we make sure we're delivering high quality programs, how do we recruit and retain students. It was great, I loved it, but it still wasn't quite right fit for the skill set and my interests. So I had the opportunity to transition more into a role that was dealing with the student data and then finance and accounting and human resources. So kind of more of that operations side. Where I could rely a little bit more on the numbers and data that I was comfortable with to really direct how we could improve our programs and how we could improve operationally to do even more for these kids. At the end of the day, a nonprofit is still a business, and everyone on some level has to have some understanding of accounting. Going back to school would allow me to learn a little bit more about business overall, to be able to have more informed conversations about how we could properly use this money. The question was, go back to school for what? And so I was looking at, an MBA versus accounting, and ultimately, what I realized was the accounting program has more of those hard skills, more of the fundamental things, and less of an overview than the MBA gives you. And for me, that was a better fit. I want to be able to learn something and then go back to my workplace and apply it right away. So the appeal of the online program is I can do that. I can be in my financial reporting A class right away, and then the next day call up our auditors and hear how my conversations are changing with them. I was really pleased when I discovered the online program and really got into it, was how much it felt like being in a classroom. You're in there and there's like 12 little pictures with all your people, all your faces, and you're building relationships with them even though they're not sitting next to you. You're able to have discussions the same way you would in a classroom where teachers like, you four go over there, you four go over there. Now they just split you up and you just see those 4 pictures on the screen. And you can have those discussions and you can interact in a way that's so similar to the classroom environment and doesn't feel like you're online. It feels like they're sitting right next to you, and not just a chat box to type kind of your responses into. You're really getting to engage with one another and the material. So my first class, I really spent a decent amount of time after every test. I would meet with Libby, who was my professor, and she and I would go through my test, and I'd get face-to-face with my professor, just one-on-one, going through my test, looking at exactly what I did wrong and why I did it and where my misunderstanding was to get me back on track. I can see how to use and touch and apply this information that I felt like she was able to give, that really made me think, okay, this isn't just any online class like you could get on YouTube. This is somebody who actually understands and can help me see how to use it. At some point I have to move on from After School All-Stars, and I'm going to be starting a job hunt for the next thing, and knowing that I'm tapping into an alumna base that's so large and so well connected and really has pride in their program was huge for kind of that long-term career look.